Spiritual awakening is a very beautiful thing until you start to see the truth. And you're going to start seeing the veil, what is behind the veil. In most of my early videos, I had some episodes that I used to call Behind the Veil. Behind the veil means you're wearing a certain set of glasses. There is things you will see, there is things you will overstand, and you cannot unsee those particular things. It is very bizarre, disturbing, unbelievable. In some cases, when you start seeing what is behind the veil, it could even send you into a very deep state of depression. In some cases, you can even get psychosis. It's a very unpleasant experience. It's a very unpleasant sight. Sometimes I talk with people and I will have things that I will say. This is exactly what is going on. That is exactly what is happening. And these people, they're like, no, you can't be right. This is not possible. You know, that cannot be my son. That cannot be my sister. That cannot be my father. That cannot be my family member. And in the beginning, they are going to struggle with that truth. Then I'm like, okay, I don't judge. I understand where you're coming from. You take your time. At some point, you'll get it. When you become a truth teller like me, you are triggered to start speaking your truth because you understand and see things exactly as they are, not exactly as you want them to be. You see things as they are, and it's just what it is. There's nothing you can do. This video, we're going to focus on the black sheep of the family. We are going to focus on the black sheep. Why? Because the black sheep, you will be that family member that is different. You are the one who is different. You are the one who doesn't pretty much conform. You're a non-conformist. You're the one that sees some things that other people don't see. You are the one who moves left when everybody's going right. You are the one that pretty much members of your family feel on a deep level, unconscious level, you are not like them. The reason why you are the black sheep of the family is because you are actually born in the dysfunction of family matrix. It's a matrix. It's an illusion. You did actually understand that illusion for a very long period of time. Yes, you knew who was who, the names, you knew their faces, you knew whatever, you even know their blood groups and stuff. But you never actually understood that you was dealing with something entirely different. It was the complete opposite of what you thought you was dealing with. So the family that you thought you was dealing with on a spiritual level was something else happening behind the scenes. The parent that is running that family, the one that appears apparently to raise the family, give them food, whatever, housing, beds and stuff, and all these things that follow. I would like to tell you the truth, and it is a very disturbing truth. You was not raised by the parent that you think raised you. You was actually raised by a demon. There is something that you guys have got to understand about certain families. There is families that are dealing with things you have got no idea of. There is parents that have done things. I don't know what was the trigger. I don't know why they chose those paths, but they have taken paths that if you really knew what those parents did, you would have walked away from that family so many years ago. In a dysfunctional family, we will always find a parent that is evil. In some cases, you're going to find a parent that is extremely dysfunctional. It is the dysfunction that invites the evil. If that parent is a drug addict, they are battling some demons you have no idea of. If a parent is alcoholic, they are still battling with some demons you have no idea of. That parent is a witch. That parent is a coven. That parent is involved in some secret groups or things like that. You have got no idea what they are dealing with. These are things they will never sit with you. They are going to actually take that secret to the grave. They will never sit with you and tell you exactly what they did. For whichever reason they did it, maybe at the time they thought it was going to work for them. It would work for the family. So because, they are going to sacrifice something, this and that, and they're going to accumulate wealth, they're going to become rich, they will be voted for parliament positions or membership in the government and stuff, it can be anything. They have done things that they thought at the time was okay. But the only thing that they didn't realize that they was invoking certain spirits into the entire unit, which spirits would now destroy the entire system. Because you see, the devil will give you. Yes, the devil gives things, whatever. We have seen people who have done sacrifices, blood sacrifices and everything. And the devil has given them a lot of wealth and, they have a lot of power, whatever. They have running big companies. They are cruising around on yachts and stuff like that. But it is going to take an awakened mind to look behind the veil to be able to understand the horrible things those people have done to get exactly to where they want to be or the positions that they are. So those parents, they have got people that look up to them. And for a while, it's going to be comfortable because, eventually when they have done whatever it is they have done, their rituals and all these funny, dirty things behind the scenes, and they have gotten all this money, and, you see them flashing around in big cars and, whatever they are. They seem to be doing well. Everybody admires them. Oh, I wish I was a CEO. I wish I was in that position. I wish I was this. A lot of people, we admire so many people without us fully understanding what have those people done to get to where they are. Because I can promise you, will you ever be able to understand what those people have done? You don't know how to get involved with those people. You have no business with that crap. You will be gone permanently out of that unit. When you've been raised by those evil parents, like I've told you, you have been raised by a demon. There was moments where you could almost believe you're dealing with a healthy parent because there's some days where it was a normal day. You can see the parent, they are having a good conversation, normal conversation. They will give you some money for your trip or whatever, for school and those things. They will be normal. And then there will be days where they will completely go berserk. Now, when those demons step in at any given moment, because it has already been happening, those demons do not recognize you as a person. They recognize you as a threat. Especially if you're the person that is born with a pure heart, you have a pure spirit. Those demons that you was dealing with, they do not see you as a person. And they do not see you as their friend. So you should not, you should never even think that, you know, your narcissistic parent was in your corner from the beginning. There was not. There was only in your corner when there was something to benefit from you, or maybe it was a very big celebration, and you know, maybe you was about to get married. They could even sometimes have tampered with your own marriage, or sometimes there was something big event going on, and there was meant to be in the spotlight, but they was not coming because they were so in love with you and they was in your corner, you know, whatever it is you got going on and stuff like that. It wasn't the case. Most of the times they have been working tooth and nail. They have been relentlessly working behind the scenes to get you out of the way. But you see, when it comes to evil parents, when they're doing these funny things and rituals and stuff, they do things because it is not supposed to point back at them. So they know how to hide these things behind the scenes. Nobody will believe you if you try to say anything. Listen, guy, this is what is going on. The parent is like this, the parent is like that. All your family members are going to be like, you're crazy. You have to go and get some help because you don't even know what you're talking about. So they're always going to be in a spot where everybody else is going to stand behind them and nobody will ever believe you, no matter how much you talk. So the people that will normally believe you, especially for the black sheeps, it is going to be the people that have are fellow black sheep like you. They have had similar experiences like you. They are the guys that are going to listen to you. Anybody else, they will not understand you. They will not be listening. You can scream, they're not there. The reason why you feel what is the word? No, English is not my first language. Disoriented, whatever. Broken, you're lost. You don't even know where to start. You don't even remember your own authentic signature. You don't even remember what you're supposed to do. What did you do back then? What are you doing now? The reason why you have actually lost it all completely is because you have been raised by a demon. The only thing that saved you was the Most High. As much as you was there struggling, this particular demon was dragging you left and right. Go that way, do this and do that. The screams, the gaslighting, the manipulation, the torture, the abuse, the addictions, and all these things that follow. So he was involved in a battle that you didn't even know he was fighting. What was even very tricky in that case scenario is because you believed this whole time that he was dealing with a healthy parent, because you could not understand the spiritual element that is behind these people. I did a video recently and I told you guys the demon will reveal itself. That video went viral. Many people, I read most of the comments, if not all. There's a reason as to why I made that video, because I deeply understand and overstand the spiritual activity of life, of everything that has been happening. So I'm awakened. I normally see things, I hear things, I understand things. And what I really meant in that video was like, a moment comes and you snap, and your father is going to do something or your mother is going to do something whereby you're going to recognize that this thing that you've been dealing with from the beginning was never the person you thought was. It was a completely different entity you have been dealing with. And when you start adding up all the pieces together, you put the puzzles together, you're going to start checking all the dots and you're going to see it is the exact demon you've been dealing with your whole life. Sometimes you had a break. You could get a break sometime. You got married, maybe met some woman somewhere, man, whatever, you started a family. But it has always been the same demon. So basically, you've just been hopping from situation to situation and meeting that same demon in a different body. I've done an entire video on that. For a black sheep, it is very heavy the moment you realize that you have got a lot of work to do. Because you've been driving or cruising, and now you awakened, and then you looked around and realized you was in the middle of nowhere, somewhere in the middle of the sea. You don't even know the location where you are. You're just somewhere there. You've been cruising for I don't know for how many months, years. You're somewhere in the middle of the desert. There's no location. There's no internet. There's no Wi-Fi. You're looking around and you know that you have been lost for a very long time. Because the intention of narcissist people and evil people is to drag you very far away from where you're supposed to be. So they're going to put a lot of junk in your head, program you to an extent that for you to understand what you need to do to heal, it is going to require you to reboot the entire program. It's all conditioning. It's a matrix. I did a video on reboot, a reboot in those first couple of months or whatever. You have to reboot the entire program because you understand the program is a false program. And now you have to start from zero, from scratch, and you have to construct the program that works for you. And when I'm talking about these things, I don't say it's easy. It's very, very difficult. It's a lot of work. Did you guys know how many people have not survived this warfare? Did you know how many people have actually passed away in the line of duty without them realizing what was going on? So there's a reason as to why the universe will choose you to wake up. Because you're the one who is supposed to finish this whole thing. Whatever nonsense has been happening for so many years, you are the one supposed to finish it. In every family, there is most likely one black sheep. There could be two, but most likely there will be one that is active, and there will be one that will be activated. That is going to be the first one to see the veil. What is going on behind the veil? There will be one that will be activated to wear the glasses. And when you do wear the glasses, I can promise you there's no going back. So in most of the cases, you hear coaches telling you things like, when you leave the family, don't go back, okay? Because it's a one-way out. You don't go back to those families, because when you go back to those families, it's going to be very, very dangerous, because these people you've been dealing with is not normal people. Your growth requires you to leave familiar territory behind. You cannot grow and evolve around the same demons that you think that raised you. You wasn't raised by normal people. In most of the cases, you raised yourself. There is some things that you chose to do that was the complete opposite of what your parents wanted you to do, because you knew on the inside that you was dealing with unhealthy parents. They was very evil parents. At the time, you don't know what to do because you're young. So, there's some little bit of respect you have, and there's an image that you have in front of you that you want to believe is true. But I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, nothing was ever real. It wasn't true. Whichever demon you think you was dealing with, the one that raised you, that demon wanted you out of the way. There is a lot of setups that demon has been doing behind the scenes, because I've told you, these demons work in covert ways, whereby there cannot be anything that can be tracked. That's how the devil works, in very covert ways. Is why you hear people talking about covert narcissists. The narcissist is the devil in human form. There is things that you see them doing, and whichever way it has to be done, they are going to do it in a very covert way, in a sense that it can never get back to them. So nobody will ever believe you. People will be like, you're lying, you're taking a piss or something like that. It's a joke. It's not possible. Your mother can't do this. Your father can't do this. That kind of stuff is why they call them covert, because that's how the devil operates, in very covert ways. So the journey you're going to take as an empath, the black sheep, to heal. You can talk to the black sheep that have been doing the work. You will see. They are going to tell you a very long story. It is a lot of work to heal, because, you just waking up one day and then eventually you're like, okay, so that is not the family that I thought I had. It was something else that was going on. And you have to pick up all the pieces. You have to build from scratch. You have to start all over again. You have to reboot. The entire reality will change, shift completely in a sense that will make you even send your body in shock. So my chosen ones understand that he wasn't raised by a parent. He wasn't raised by a parent. It's the thing that they will tell you because they want you to believe that there was normal, regular people and whatever, but you have no idea what he was dealing with. It was a completely different energy. He was dealing with a different spirit, and these spirits have been the ones that have been tormenting you from the beginning. There would be nothing that could work for you. You've been struggling left and right. Many of you guys could not understand where the money was going. You couldn't even understand. You would not understand anything because those demons that have been working through your parents have been putting so much confusion in your head, keeping you in a small little box where they could be able to control you. It has never been about your personal evolution or growth. It has always been about the control. In every narcissistic encounter you have, even if we don't talk about families, the thing that really mattered the most was the control they would have over you. When you take control away from a narcissist, it's like taking away part of their body. It is the most difficult thing they will have to face the moment you pull the plugs and you take your control away from those people. They cannot handle this. When you finally understand that you was raised by a demon, it wasn't the parent you thought it was a different energy altogether. So you kind of fight, not even kind of, you really do fight to get yourself back together. So you want to know, okay, so this was not a healthy person that raised you. It was something different. So what can you do? So that is when you start stepping into your healing energy, trying to do these things you can do to heal yourself, to get into a better state emotionally, physically, financially. And one of the things that you will testify, and one of the things you will see, you're going to start to see that your life is getting back in order. Because you see, one of the things you do when you remove these demons out of your life, regardless of what the demon has been, is when you start to see a lot of things are starting to take off. Because they are no longer plugged into your energy. How is it a coincidence that all of a sudden you leave your family and you start to evolve? You're learning things, you're growing, your circles are building, your energy is on point, your money is on point, you're very happy, you're healthy. How is it possible that when you detach from these demons, you start to flow, you start to grow, you start to thrive? How is it possible? Something you could do, you could never do when you are still entangled with them, you're able to do when they're out of your life. How is it possible? It's not a coincidence. So for the empaths out there, the black sheep, the chosen ones, you have to understand that there is moments are going to come. You're going to be required to see things as they are. You can no longer just ignore things and try to fool yourself around and ignore, you have to see things as they are. There's no other way around it. So again, like I've always mentioned in my videos, it's not personal. This whole entire battle has been spiritual warfare. You just didn't know that you was fighting certain entities. It has been spiritual. Okay, on the physical, you couldn't pick it up, you couldn't figure it out, but on the spiritual, it was something else that was happening. It was the light versus the dark. Okay. Learn how to forgive these people. Learn how to forgive these people. Because you see, when it comes to this spiritual warfare, you stop to internalize these things and taking them very personal. But you also understand that it is very important for you to have very, very healthy boundaries for yourself. Forgive those people that broke you, that hurt you, cut those energetic cords with them, leave them where they are, and be able to go your own way and evolve and eventually to become the person you came here to be. So let us know what you think about the video. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll see you guys in my next one. Denzo Mos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.